So this is Daniel. He went to Nationals this last year. He took Qliphorts, and he almost made it to day 2 on his first time ever at Nationals. So, dude's rocking it. And then so we're gonna do a profile on his Qlis because he's really good at this game. Yeah.
So,
all right.
First off, start off with 2 Qliphort Scouts, kind of absolutely mandatory for these. I run 2 Monolith. Most Qliphort players only run 1 Monolith for the sole reason that they use it as the 1 scale. I like 2 because for Qliphorts it's easy to get out disc. With disc you can combo into double Monolith if you decide to use carrier as your 1 scale instead. Double Monolith, it results in 7,600 for one full-on attack. Pretty good. I run 3 carrier, standard, most Qliphort builds. Most people will drop this down to 2. I still run 3 because Helix is way too good to not have, especially with the lose 1 turns and Vanity's Emptiness running around. You still want to be able to get rid of that fast and easy. I run 2 stealth. Most people have been running 3 stealth and 1 disc, or 2 disc and 3 stealth, or some weird assortment like that. I run 2 stealth because that's all I had. 2 disc, they're too good not to have. I actually wanted to run 3 disc and 2 stealth because stealth is good for the immediate plays to get the bounce, and so they have no response for anything. And then disc is good for the OTKs or to set up for our towers or whatever play the next turn. 2 stealth or 2 shell. S's, it's too many. Shell's good. I like shell. Can attack twice. It's 5,600 damage. Kinda OP. 1 Cephalopod comes in handy, especially against Burning Abyss and Necros. And Shadow, you summon Cephalopod and you can do up to around 5,600 damage just by summoning him, and then you also gain the 5,600 damage, or 54, whatever it turns out to be.
Something like that.
Something crazy stupid. Really good. 1 towers. Most people don't like towers because towers is a degenerate piece. It's too good.
just a bit.
It's too good. Special summon monsters lose 500 attack and defense, and towers gets rid of everything and makes sure that shadows don't get their effects because it's the player that sends their monsters to the graveyard, not the card effect. Pretty good, especially against Burning Abyss as well. That's all I had for the monsters. Spells, 3 Upstart Goblin. This is kind of a semi-turbo build. A lot of people don't like to run Upstarts and Dualities, but I do. 3 Upstart, 3 Summoner's Art, 2 Duality, gets everything fast and easy. 2 Monarchs Stormforth. I main this. A lot of Qliphort players like to have it in the side deck. I main it because it's easy to get your monsters on field and make sure that your opponent has none, especially since a majority of your monsters require 2 tributes. You can tribute 1 of theirs, tribute 1 of your Qliphorts, and then you should usually have the ability to keep your Qliphorts on board after that by Pendulum Summoning, and you also get the effect of your disc or your shell or your Cephalopod.
Would you say that the main reason you're main decking the Stormforce is because of your high disc count?
Yeah.
Because then you clear their board and then also get the big OTK push?
It's quick and easy, and that's kind of what it was meant for. Pot of Riches. This actually I put in after Nats, because I actually pulled them from the boxes that I got. But after playing at Nats, I realized Pot of Riches is probably one of the best cards to have. With Mind Crush being one of the biggest tech cards that people are main decking, it sends your scouts straight to the graveyard, and it's near... What the fuck?
Yeah, just a little buggy.
But yeah, I can get your scouts and send them back to your deck, and it makes it really easy because they'll spend their 3 Mind Crushes and their MSTs, and you can still get your scouts back easy.
Is the reason you're running 2 just because you want to draw it, or is it just because you actually would want to use like 2?
Well, because I'd actually be willing to use 2, because with that as well, I came into issues against Necros where all of my cards were basically in my extra deck, and I know how to get them back Climate Change is a good card because it adds it to your hand, but Pot of Riches, if you're running out of resources as a Qliphort player, you more than likely have a thin deck, which means you're going to end up drawing into the monsters that you need right away. It's not going to be okay, maybe I'm going to draw it with this early game. No, if you use all your resources and you send back the 3 cards that you need in order to get it, you'll more than likely get at least one of those. Next one is Limiter Removal. This card has won me so many games, especially with my side deck. Actually, against a Volcanic player, I Limiter Removaled and then Forbidden Chaliced my Disc or my Stealth, I can't remember. But I negated the effect, gave it 400, and also doubled its attack for a game.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big.
Kinda just says...
Limiter is a bit ridiculous with how big your monsters are normally.
Yeah. Way too stupid good for this. 1 Saqlifice. Mandatory. This is actually supposed to be a Raigeki. It'd be good if I actually had that.
he did have it for Nationals, by the way.
I did have it.
He just doesn't have it in this build right now because he's lazy.
Yeah, it's in one of my other decks.
Just so you know, he wasn't just playing a Dark Hole at Nationals.
So that's it for spells. Traps. Qliphorts, you absolutely run 3, lose 1 turn. 2 good, not 2. You get your Qliphort monsters at full power if they can't get rid of them by the next turn, and plus it pushes your opponent to go back 1 turn because they can't activate their effects.
It literally makes them lose 1 turn.
Oh, I wonder why they named it lose 1 turn. 1-ofs, Bottomless, came in great handy against mirror matches. Gets rid of all the Pendulum monsters that they summoned. Torrential, I actually wish I didn't run Torrential. I wish I had done Psalm Warning because Psalm Warning came in a lot more handier than Torrential did. Vanities, it's necessary because it's the Vanities. And 1 Skill Drain because you run cards with effects that negate your pumped up monsters. So that's it for the main deck.
Alright.
Side deck. Some great stuff. 3 Vanity's Fiend, because Vanity's Fiend is too good, especially when you have Monarchs Stormforth to abuse. Denko Sekka, Snowflake, Thunder Snowflake, is it?
As was.
Thunder Snowflake. She's too good, especially with the little amount of traps that you run. You're not going to have a set card, and if you absolutely need to, you can activate your lose 1 turn before you summon Denko. And that way they have to deal with your lose 1 turn as well as your Denko that's going to stop them from activating anything. 3 Spell Shattering Arrows. Qliphorts were a crazy thing to have, or to go up against, because mirror matches are never fun. They're awful. 3 Chalice. Won me so many games, I cannot tell.
What was the reason you side decked it to Chalice instead of main decking it?
Or
were you main decking it at Nats and you just, that was the Pot of Riches?
Nope. I can't remember what I main decked for the Pot of Riches. I think it was 1 more Duality and 1 more Cephalopod that I had in my main deck. Chalice I kept on the side deck because it's something that they don't really expect. They expect everything, first turn or first game. And then they won't end up having to deal with it if they don't see it. And then lastly, 3 Imperial Iron Wall, because I was more afraid of Infernoids than anything, because they have a really good matchup, because they're as powerful, and Anunku is a thing against towers, because it can destroy it.
Yeah, because Anunku can just straight up kill towers.
Yeah.
By effect. It's not often that happens.
Yeah, it's not often.
You got that young extra deck that's very relevant.
Extra deck that is relevant for Qliphorts when you special summon all my Qliphorts.
Yeah.
Just pieces of it.
And also, you don't mind making Exceed plays since you run the Pot of Riches, right?
Correct.
So you can totally just Exceed and then just Pot of Riches them back.
Yep. That's the best part about Pot of Riches. Gem Knight Pearl. This is actually one of probably the best side deck cards that I had. Especially with lose 1 turn, since he's not considered an effect monster. He has a normal Exceed. Lose 1 turn does not affect it, so you have a 2600 beater just sitting and chilling until he gets destroyed, and then you gotta get your monsters back somehow. And then Heartlanddraco, because you use Pendulum Zones.
And the card is good. It's Nightmare Shark for rank 4.
Yeah, and you control face-up spell cards, so it can't be targeted
By
for
attack.
attacks.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Abyss Dweller.
Of course.
Because Burning Abyss are good. Cairngorgon. I was actually looking for this the other day. Just a generic rank 4 that's pretty decent, especially when they're about to MST your scout.
Most of the reason it's so good is because of its attack. Honestly, it
That,
gets over a good amount of stuff.
It does get over a good amount of stuff, but main reason is you need to save your cards.
MST it changed from Scout to other Pendulum Zone.
Yep.
Oh,
Beserk.
amazing.
It's amazing. Steelswarm Roach.
Very relevant against Pendulums.
Extremely relevant, especially when they only can. Qliphort players can only Pendulum summon big monsters at high levels.
Yeah.
Too good. I actually had more generic rank 4s. Castel,
Ark.
Exciton, Ark.
That kind of stuff.
That stuff is basic. Volcasaurus, because you have your scouts and your monoliths, just deal damage, and then Tiras, because why not? They're 2 good cards.
Yeah. Would you have thought of running Potato and Diamond?
I did run 1 potato. I did run 1 diamond, just in case.
Yeah.
Because those are
Just in case your Shadow matchup wasn't good enough. Or mostly against the Burning Abyss, of course.
mostly against Burning Abyss, because those things are a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Burning Abyss kind of suck. But yeah.
Kind of, they do suck.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
If I was to change anything, I probably would, well now, with the cards that we have available after Nats, Wavering Eyes for a quick and easy turn 1 towers, because I've left towers since the beginning. And probably would get my 3rd disc, because I love disc. 4th stealth, I'm not sure. I'm still debating that.
You'll figure it out.
That's a big debate.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Alright, cool. That was Daniel's Qli profile. Like, comment, subscribe if you're a panderer. Have a good time. See you in the next video.